Hello, so here I am. Not done lives for a while, bear with me, I was a minute late. So putting my ring light up and then the stand decides to break. Just go figure. So I'm improvising. If the phone kind of moves, because I'm recording on my phone, if it moves or if something happens, then I'm really sorry because we'll just work on it. We'll work on it. I'll have to hold it if I have to hold it. So at the minute, touch wood, it's all settled. So what I'm going to be doing is over the next 3 days, we're going to be talking a little bit about menopause, maybe 10 minutes each day, not too long. I just want it to be one bite-sized chunks. And what I want you to do is interact with me. So ask questions, even if you're watching on a catch-up, ask me questions because then I'll use it in further feeds or I'll just respond to you. So no question is out of bounds. We're in a closed group, so don't feel like, oh, I can't ask that. Ask it. I'm not gonna know everything, but I know enough about certain things. So today, kind of what is menopause? When do we transition from perimenopause to menopause? Tomorrow we're going to be looking at the kind of techniques, tools, therapies that help medicinally, I think that's even a right word, and also complementary. So kind of talking HRT and all the other kind of different therapies that might work and help for you. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to be issuing some top tips. So things that you can do yourself without kind of anyone else, or other things that you might want to think about doing. So they're my kind of 3 days. They're going to be around 10 minutes long, so not too long. As I said, catch up, post questions, because then if you're watching it now, I'll answer it straight away if I can. Otherwise, I'll just message or write back in the comments. Okay, so housekeeping kind of done. Let's get into it. So menopause. How do we know? How do we know when we're moving from the perimenopause to the menopause? And well, it's a difficult one, but the official answer is when your periods stop for a consecutive 12 months. So if you've not had a period for 12 months consecutively, then officially you have entered the menopause. And then what happens after that is the postmenopause. So that's it officially. Menopause is when you don't have a period for 12 months, consecutive 12 months. But symptoms can begin earlier. What a bugger. Symptoms we can start to feel these symptoms earlier. So when do we start to see the changes? At what age can we start to see the changes? What are the changes? So the average age of menopause, bearing in mind I said menopause is when you've not had a period for 12 consecutive months. The average age in the UK is 51. 51. But ladies start noticing these changes much earlier than that. So we're all different. I can't say, right, as soon as you hit 45, that's it, you go through the menopause, because that's not how it works. We all went through puberty at different ages. We all started our periods at different ages. We're all different. And you're going to be sick to the death of me saying we're all different, but it's true. We are all different. So the perimenopause is that transition into the menopause. And it can be quite turbulent. So hormones all over the place. That transition might be a couple of months. It might be a couple of years. It might be longer. So on average, the perimenopause, so the period before that menopause period, can last around 4 to 8 years. 4 to 8 years of getting these kind of symptoms that I'm going to be talking about in a minute. So time of transition, time of kind of fluctuations in hormones, fluctuations in our mood set. And what's happening is the ovaries are starting to wind down. So your periods might become a bit erratic, they might become heavier, they might become longer, shorter, lighter, but the production of estrogen and all the other kind of hormones start to decline, but they can decline quite rapidly. And the hormone levels can yo-yo, they can go up, they can go down. And so perimenopause usually starts around the early to mid 40s. Let's say early to mid 40s is when perimenopause typically starts. We're all different. I want to say it again, we're all different. So I'm not going to put a stamp on it and say, as soon as you hit 45, that's it. No, it can become even earlier than that. So some people do go through the menopause earlier. They could be in their 30s and come through the menopause early. It could be I say medically induced, I don't mean it like, you know, they're doing it on purpose, but there might be things that happen in hospital, you might have had operations, ovaries removed, or what have you, and that can also trigger the start of the kind of menopause for ladies. And again, that can happen at any point in time. But given in mind that's kind of like a brief overview of that. Please, if you're thinking, I'm only 38 and I feel like I'm going through the menopause, don't just dismiss it. And people say, oh, you're far too young, because I get it all the time. You're far too young for that. I'm not saying you're going to go and you're going through it. There's just a combination of different things that can kind of, the similar symptoms of the menopause. But don't discount it, maybe just bear it in mind. And if you are really concerned about it, then go see GP. You know your body better than anyone else. Okay, just wanted to just send that out there. So physically, you might notice that the periods become more erratic. As I said, they might be less frequent, they might be longer, they might be shorter, they might be lighter, they might be heavier, they might be more painful. Other symptoms can include dry, itchy skin. It's dry, itchy skin, vaginal dryness. I'm going to say it. I'm not embarrassed to say these things. So vaginal dryness, which can cause issues from something as little as just, you know, wiping yourself after you've had a wee to not being able to have sex. So other things, I mean, that you know is quite important to some couples, and we'll just touch on that in a moment. But other things that you can have is hair loss, might be thinning of the hair, tinnitus, you know, when you got like a ringing in your ear, bleeding gums. These are things that people don't talk about, bleeding gums. They talk about things like hot flushes, mood swings. But they don't talk about maybe the sore breasts, the weight gain, especially around the middle area, the aching muscles and joints, and the UTIs. Yes, UTIs. If you're getting persistent UTIs, it's an unfortunate thing about the menopause. So they're kind of physical feelings that you can, symptoms that you can experience. What about the mental or emotional symptoms that you can have? So fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, depression, low sex drive, you know, low libido, the forgetfulness. You walk into a room, what did I walk into there for? Don't know. Emotionally, mood swings, rage, anger, even regret. You know, maybe you come to a point in your life where maybe you've put your career first and sort of kids were an afterthought. Or maybe you've not found the right person, the right partner, the right spouse, the right father of your children. Maybe it's that you have elderly parents that you've got to look after whilst holding down a really high flying job that you've worked so hard to get, and there's a lot of things going on. You might have younger children, you might have the high flying job, but then you decided to have children, and then you've got smaller children and you're going through the menopause or perimenopause and sort of struggling to cope. So there's a lot of factors in here, which is why I'm saying we're all very different and how it could affect us, because we're all at different sort of stages in our life. And I don't mean age, we're all at different ages in our life, but different stages of what's going on in our life. Have we got grown-up children that just fend for themselves? Have we got younger ones that we have to still, you know, basically hold their hand? What stage are you at? And these are things that you want to be asking yourself, like what is contributing to maybe certain factors, to the rage that you might have with a partner, for example, where, I mean, I've heard it with clients where they go, do you know what, I just want to kill him. And it's a figure of speech, and I do check that it's a figure of speech, because we can get sort of het up about it. Clearly, if it's something that you are really considering, then honestly, get some help, and that's me being sincere. Talk to someone, because if your age is getting to that point, you need to talk to someone to get it off your chest. Talk to someone, they can help you. Don't worry, you're not going to get sectioned or anything. It's got to the extreme. You need something to help you because of the hormones. So I've heard about, someone's asked me, does it affect men? Your menopause. Well, I kind of call it menopause, but yeah, but it's twofold. So we hear about guys going through the midlife crisis, don't we? Oh, they've got to a certain age and then they've gone out and bought themselves a sports car. I've seen those Ferraris and the guys are wearing like a little Ferrari baseball hat and they're driving around with the roof down. It's absolutely freezing, but there we go. So midlife crisis. So there is that. It's not necessarily to do with hormones, but it could be due to lifestyle, psychological factors, a bit like I was talking about earlier, in terms of kind of where are you at in your life sort of cycle as it is. So that's the kind of one thing that you want to look at. And what might affect men is things like erectile dysfunction, the low sex drive, the kind of low mood. I don't specialise with guys. As you can appreciate, I don't really feel comfortable about talking about erectile dysfunction with men. Happy to talk about vaginal dryness with women. I'm a woman, but I think there's just a bit of a boundary there. But it's something that you can talk to your fellas about. But if you think about it, and I said it's twofold, so men are affected by the female menopause as well. Like I said, if you've got a low libido and you're just not up for it, it affects the man, and they're thinking, is it to do with me? Is it my doing? Well, no, that's just part and parcel of it. But just talking to them, communicating to them, explaining what's going on. You might think I just don't know what's going on, but we know that hormones probably at play here. So kind of talk about that. Maybe go to GP and talk about what they could give you, or go to a pharmacist. It's really important that you kind of discuss other things that you are taking, just so that you're on the right sort of medication or the right thing for you, for your lifestyle, because things won't work for everyone. We're all different. I said it again. So it's really important to talk to them. Okay, so talk to your spouse, even talk to your children. If they're like, whoa, what's going on with you? And this is my teenage voice. What's going on with you? Why are you like this? You could just say, you know what? It's kind of, I'm in this transition phase. And it's not an excuse. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but at least it kind of explains what's going on. So I've kind of overrun a little bit because we're just talking about kind of housekeeping in terms of what to expect. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an idea, and if you've got any questions, do post on there, and then we'll pick up and sort of talk about more. But I'm happy to do this for Thursday and Friday as well. If you've got questions, if you've got anything that you want to ask or you want me to talk about, then I'll do that. Okay. There is a session that I'm doing with a lovely lady called Pretty tomorrow, and I'll post details on there. But it's she's an amazing lady. She's put ladies together that are going to be talking about things like personal training, so kind of the exercise part of things, our mindset. Then she's going to be talking to a nutritionist, I believe. And so there's other different, she's a skin specialist. So, it's going to be really, really good to, and really invaluable to get all the knowledge from different ladies that are all pulling together to help you. So I will look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.